This was a rather unfortunate fight, not only for TJ Dillashaw having the injury and everything, but even for Aljamain Sterling, because the story of the fight is always going to be around TJ's injury. He didn't beat the best TJ Dillashaw. TJ came in there completely compromised, couldn't even defend a takedown, barely could even throw his left hand. There were moments where he would throw the left, but not fully extend it because he really can't, and it hurts him to do it. And he said he suffered a shoulder injury months before this fight even happened. I don't even know how he was able to fight, to be honest. But here's the thing, none of it is Aljo's fault. Aljamain came out there, readied himself for the best TJ Dillashaw possible, and he fought the guy the way he had to. Even after he noticed the injury and he started kicking at the shoulder, that's part of the game, man. He's in there to win. If the guy is compromised, he's going to take full advantage of it. It's a similar thing that happened when Jose Aldo defeated Korean Zombie. Korean Zombie suffered a shoulder injury in the fight, and Jose Aldo targeted it with kicks. Here, Aljo did the same thing and then took him back to the ground, knowing that TJ cannot defend the takedown. TJ's actually pretty crafty, man. He came out and said that he was trash-talking Aljamain Sterling striking just to get him to kind of get in his feelings about it, and he would strike with him because he knew he couldn't defend the takedown. So the outcome of the fight is obviously Aljamain beat him, but there's always going to be an asterisk on this win. And not only that, it kind of puts TJ in a, I don't want to say a babyface position, but him fighting through that and actually lasting as long as he did, not only going through the first round, but getting up from the bottom, landing some strikes, escaping positions, escaping chokes and stuff, and still trying to fight when his shoulder was clearly in bad shape. It's admirable, man. The guy's a beast. And some will say the fight is a bit of karma, knowing that TJ has taken PEDs before. I don't know about that whole thing, but he did get injured in the Corey fight as well. He fought with an injured knee and beat Corey. Now he fought with an injured shoulder, but he couldn't do it against Aljamain. Ever since TJ has come back, he's only had unfortunate things happen to him in these fights. And here's an example of a fighter have to ask themselves questions if they're coming into a fight injured. Do you take it or not? Do you pull out? Do you run that risk? Because let's say TJ pulled out of the fight. He still might have gotten another shot at Aljamain Sterling, or at least fight one more guy, beat him, and then he gets a title shot regardless. Him losing, injury or not, is going to hurt him even more. Especially now that you have Sean O'Malley beating Petr Yan, you have Chito Vera up there, you have Corey Sandhagen coming off a good win, Song Yadong's doing great things as well. TJ has no argument anymore to get a rematch with Aljamain. He did show his toughness, he showed his heart, he showed his ability to fight through adversity, but at the end of the day, it potentially hurt some of his goals for the future. And it explained a lot of things as well. When I was watching it, I was wondering, why is TJ throwing so many kicks at a guy who's obviously trying to get the fight to the ground? And why isn't he throwing jabs? TJ has an amazing jab. Before I noticed the injury, I was really questioning a lot of what TJ was doing out there, but now it all makes sense. He's throwing kicks because he can't rely on his left hand. His left hand is also a meaningful weapon to set up his own right and high kicks. Not only that, he can't even throw proper shift combos. TJ's the guy who revolutionized the shifting combos in MMA. Now everybody has added in the combos that he pretty much made a career out of. And he couldn't even do that because he didn't have his left hand. You notice that at this moment right here, 5 seconds into the fight, TJ goes for the shift combo. Right straight and then shifts, switches stances forward while stepping heavily on the outside foot, and look at his left hand and look at Aljamain's position. This left hand could have landed. If he threw a left straight here, it would have landed on Sterling. And it was a grueling fight on the bottom for TJ. Sterling really had no mercy in this fight, just as his corner was telling him. Don't make it easy on TJ, man. You gotta beat this guy. He was putting a lot of pressure on TJ's shoulder. He was wrist riding, pulling that arm inward, and then forcing TJ's shoulder into the mat. And then notice the way that Aljamain finished off the fight. Which side was he hitting TJ? He was hitting him on the same side that his shoulder is injured. Aljamain was cerebral in this one, man. He made sure he got a win here. He didn't want to make the fight easy. He didn't want to feel bad for TJ while the fight is happening, and he did what he had to do. So at the end of the day, this fight is always going to be clouded around that injury. A lot of people are not going to give Aljamain credit for the win. And it's kind of sad, but there's a lot of opponents up for Aljamain. Sean O'Malley's a big potential fight that they could possibly do down the line, or even Chito, or they run a Corey Sandhagen rematch, or even Henry Cejudo comes back. Aljamain's future is pretty exciting, man. And as for TJ Dillashaw, this may have been his last title shot in his entire career. The guy's 36 years old, coming off another injury. How long is that going to take? And he's got to fight his way back to the title. It doesn't look too good for TJ at the moment.